What is the importance of pacing? Now, this is important to me because ever since I was a kid, I have been very slow moving. At my first job, Wendy's, flipping burgers, 14 years old, the number one thing I was harassed and harangued about by bosses, managers, whatever, number one thing was that I was too slow moving. They needed someone who would move faster, someone who would think faster, someone who would act faster. They needed a pedal to the metal mentality. They needed someone who could punch it and go fast. And I thought that was going to be me. I was going to make this happen. But unfortunately, I sucked at it. When I was 18, I was a dishwasher until I got fired because I couldn't keep up with the rate that plates were being slung into my sink. When I was 22, I was a door-to-door salesman knocking on doors. And the number one thing my bosses harassed and harangued me about was that I was taking too long to get between doors and I was spending too much time talking to customers. They wanted me to walk faster. They wanted me to talk faster. They wanted me to be faster. And when I was 25, I was an insurance salesman in a call center, and a manager sat me down and asked, Aaron, why are you taking twice as long as anyone else to handle customer service calls? I was failing the pedal to the metal mentality. But I'm 27 now. I'm older. I'm wiser. And dare I say I'm faster? I teach kids public speaking. And I think I figured it out. I've developed a system. See, when a new student comes to me, I ask them 4 questions, and I use those 4 questions to develop a speech that they can take home. Question number 1, what is your passion? What's something you love? That's going to be the topic of their speech. Question number 2, what's something unusual, weird, or you think people might find interesting and exciting about that topic? That is going to be our hook, our opening line. Question number 3, give me 2 or 3 things that really you think hold your attention or really fascinate you about your hobby. These are going to be the key points of the speech. Introduce the introduction, discussed in the body. And then I ask them, question number 4, final question. What is something they've really learned or that's changed about them from doing this passion, doing this hobby? That's going to be their conclusion. Now we've got all the pieces, introduction, body, conclusion. I then give them my piece of paper, covered in scribbles. I tell them to try it, apply it, rewrite it, memorize it. Do all you can with it. Come back next week. We'll massage it and turn it into a perfect speech. This is a well-oiled machine, a system of efficiency. And by God, is it fast. Something I've always strived for. 2 weeks ago, I had a student come to me, also named Aaron, funnily enough. Kind of interesting. He sat down, and I said, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, 4 questions. Question number 1, what's your passion? What's something you love doing? There's a pause, a gulp, followed by, I don't know. Huh? Right. I'll probe a little further. Do you like watching movies? Do you like reading books? How about playing sports, video games, board games? His answers, in order, were no, 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 and then for variation, I don't know. The system was failing. The well-oiled machine was breaking. And I was panicking a little bit. But I noticed something a little familiar in this situation. So I said, you know what? Let's try something different. Aaron, I'm going to say one word. And I want you to pick one word response. Doesn't matter what it is. The first thing that comes to mind, just whatever word you associate. First thing that comes to mind. He says, okay. So I respond, restaurant. 10 seconds of quiet. He says, McDonald's. Now, this was the first no or I don't know answer I had received from Aaron in this session. And to be honest, it was a pretty big relief. We actually spent the rest of that session going back and forth, me saying a word, him saying response, until he wasn't saying just one word, he was saying full sentences in response. all because I realized the importance of pacing. Now, the importance of pacing is not going as fast as you can. The importance of pacing is setting a pace for success. It took me meeting a literal and figurative other Aaron to realize that speed is not the only thing that matters, and that setting a pace that allows someone to follow is often, if not generally, just as important. So when I ask that question, what is the importance of pacing? The answer that I've come to is the importance of pacing as a leader is setting a pace so that others can follow. Back to you.